Hi everyone, so I filmed a video where I showed you how I'm creating these cute tassel Christmas embellishments or rather Christmas ornaments. However, the lighting wasn't great, and so after editing it I decided to film another video and actually show you a simpler process. So these are individual pom-poms that I used to create this design. So you can buy them like this, and then I just stuck them in a specific shape, and that's what I've done there. I made two. I can't find where the second one went. Mason must have taken it off the Christmas tree and placed it somewhere where I don't know where it is. So yes, I will show you a simpler version where you can use a trim, which is a pom-pom trim, and they come in different sizes, different looks. So this is one which has a similar size or identical size of the pom-pom, but it's on a trim. And today I'm going to create a mini, like a really small pom-pom trim. So what you will need, first of all, you'll need tassels, and you can make them yourself. They're very easy to make, so use this Clover tassel maker, and it just literally takes you 30 seconds to make a tassel. I had no idea how easy it is. I also made a tutorial where you can see how to make tassels. You obviously will need some sort of yarn of your choice. I've got a variety here of different ones. I have to say that these ones are easier to use and they don't tangle. This yarn really tangles quite badly, but you have a bigger color choice. So I went for this beautiful teal, and from one of these you can make two tassels. One of these will make one tassel. So this is basically one tassel made out of this, and you can see the style of the yarn is a bit different. I think I prefer this look, and but it is harder to work with. Like, it takes you ages to untangle it, but you can. So I made two out of one. Okay, now the color, if you're interested, this is a very pretty teal, and it's the 186, and the brand is also Anchor, so both of them are by Anchor. Okay, so the other thing you'll need is some sort of polystyrene balls, and these are 50 millimeters, and I got 3 in one pack. So I will make 2 with this design, and then I'm intending to make 2 with these, and then I'll have this color tassel. So I might make a separate video on that. So anyways, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by basically doing like a so on my bowl there is on one side there is this little indentation here, which I will use to create a little nest where the tassel is going to go later on. So I'll use a hot glue gun to do that with, so roughly this size, so something that would fit in the tassel. So whatever size you're going for, this is what you are aiming to do. And at this point I'm going to cut it because it will be simpler for me to do the nest, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. The other thing before I start, you also will need wire. So this is 0.8 diameter, and some sort of little cutters. And then what you're going to do is, before you start, you'll find the center at the top and you stick it in. So that will be your guideline where to stop the trimming, so it's nice and straight, and then later I'll show you what you do with that. So this is just the 1 inch that I cut off the wire, and the one that we'll be using later on to actually use as a hook for the thread is going to be 2 inches. Okay, so let me glue this a little bit on and then we'll continue. All right, so my little bowl is having a little crown, neon crown. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you just the beginning, and then I will finish it off and I'll show you at the end. So I cut the piece, I glued it. Now where there is this seam where the two ends come together, this is where I'm going to place my trim, and this time I'm not going to cut it, I'm just going to snail it like that. That's all I'm going to do, going all the way up, and then I'll show you what I do at the top. As I go, I obviously will be using a hot glue gun, and roughly about 5 millimeters from the base of the last one. So that's the thickness if you look at the pom-poms. So you'll have to go like that. One thing don't do with the hot glue gun is don't do the whole circle, because by the end you finish it, this bit will be all dried. It dries really quickly. So just do like a little dab, glue part, then do a little dab, glue part, and continue like that. So once I get to the top, I will show you what I do next. So let me just show you the beginning of this. So like I said, here is my glue gun. I'm going to do a little droplet like so and just pull it out a little bit. Work really quickly because this glue dries so quickly. So I'm going to set it in and place it on top like so. While it's still drying, you have the time to move things, but a few seconds later it's gone. So as you can see, this is now glued in, and I'm going to continue all the way like that. So once I get to the point here, I'm just going to lay it over and continue like this. Sorry if it's hard to see, because it's neon, it's always very hard to film or photograph. The color looks quite like it's glowing, so it's not gonna be very true to life. But what could be more fun than neon colored Christmas ornaments? We're going for a crazy theme this year. I've got like a holographic purple unicorn. And yeah, and we have holographic tinsel, and I just want to have fun. I don't want that, you know, green, red, white stuff. Some years I feel like doing just the white theme, you know, but I think while Mason is small, it's just so much fun to experiment with colors. So you can see what this is looking like so far. And I'm just going to continue all the way around, as I said. And once I get closer to the end, we're going to meet again. Okay, so as I got to the half of it, I actually realized there is a lot of trim going in. And because I was hoping to make two, I decided to use up a few of these kind of turquoisey individual pom-poms that I had, and just run them across the middle, and that will give me at least some sort of saving of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it right to the half, and then I'm going to add the individual pom-poms. So like that, I'm going to start with the individual ones, like so. The individual ones take a little bit longer to place, but it's not that difficult. So I want them closely together, and essentially that's what it's going to look like. and try to make them in a straight line, like so. So you don't want to have gaps in between, because otherwise you'll see the polystyrene. So you'll just attach them like that, so they sit nicely together. Okay, so I have finished this row of the pom-poms, and you can see that it's slightly off. It's very much straight everywhere else, but there is this point here which will have to be the back of the toy, so you can basically hang it so that you don't see it, because it's difficult to completely do it in a straight line. I could have maybe set this one a bit higher, but then it would have been sort of like that. Anyhow, that's not a problem. So I'm going to go back to the trim now, and I'm going to set the trim right into this little nook here, and continue with the neon color. So this time I'm going to lay it flat like so, rather than, so this was kind of starting with the crown which stood up, and then like that, and this will be laying down, and I am going to continue in the exact same manner all the way. Just make sure you sit it right above the turquoise pom-poms, because again you don't want to have big gaps right there. And as long as you do that, it will look very neatly done. If you get your finger stuck in a bit of the hot glue, try to avoid touching a pom-pom, because you'll have to cut down the fibers a little bit to get it off. You won't be able otherwise to do that. Okay, so here is half done. I'm going to continue until I get to the top, and then we will catch up again. I apologize that I thought I was filming this process and I completely pushed the wrong button on the camera. So what I've done is, I will explain to you, I came to about the almond size, which was still bare, so you could see the polystyrene ball. And then what I've done is, instead of kind of going flat, the trim wanted naturally to come standing again. So then the last bit, without cutting it off, I just stood it up like a little crown, as I did in the beginning here, and then I attached so I took out this little hook, the 1-inch hook, and I attached the 2-inch hook into the place, and then I had a little, which I'll show you here. So all you're left with is this little opening here, and if you want to make it nice and presentable, you can just slide in a 2-piece trim and it will stay in there, won't come out, because it's nice and snug, and that way it looks finished. So that's what I've done. The final thing that I will do is attach the tassel, and basically think about, so first of all, let's cut off this little thread here at the top, so you're leaving the knot, and now rotate your ornament to the so the back is facing away, and then have a look, how do you like the tassel to look? So I would suggest this would be the back or the sides, and this would be the front, so it kind of looks pretty at the front. So choose your prettiest side to go at the front, depending how you made your tassel. So I think this is the prettiest side. So now, as I'm holding it, remembering that this is the back, this is the front, I'm going to put my ornament like so, and then I'm going to pump about 3 or 4 drops of hot glue, trying to not mess up the pom-poms at the bottom. Once it's nice and filled, it will be time to stick in the so again, check where your back is very quickly, and then stick in your tassel at the bottom. Make sure it's nice and straight and hold it there until the glue starts solidifying, and make sure you don't press too much so the glue doesn't come out of all the sides. And at the same time, do not try to pull it too early because it's going to still be hot and moving. So once that is nice in place, that's what your tassel is going to look like, your ornament. And it looks really cool. It kind of looks like a classic traditional ornament, but with the modern twist. And the final thing that's left to do is you'll have these from the hot glue, kind of loads of those little frets, and so you just sort of pull them on your finger as you go, like that, just rotate them and they come off, and that is all you need to do. So the final thing and that would be your option, is what you choose to go, like what color thread you choose to go onto your toy, Christmas toy, but I will go for a white one. And then what I will do is I will loop it through like so, and then I'll make a little knot on top, like so, and trim it down, and it is done. It's ready to go on the Christmas tree. So I hope you enjoyed it, and as you can see, this is the back of the toy, so remember to hang it like so, facing you, with the prettiest side of it. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.